The views and opinions expressed in this channel are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the views of our guests. The views and the opinions of the guest do not represent nor reflect the views and opinions of the Lockoutmen channel, nor its host. Our guests' opinions are their own. This channel is for educational, entertainment, and informational purposes only, and utilizes fair use materials in accordance with applicable laws.
All right, drivers, what if you ain't even finished trucking school, right? And you're already in the SAP program. Sounds kind of wild.
Somebody actually came into the Facebook group of She Trucking. Shout out to the She Trucking group. Someone actually came in the Facebook group, posted a post, and someone inside the comments asked, how are you still in school and you're already in the SAP program? Let's talk about it.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
What's going on, drivers? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for listening. I am Lockout Men, and our story begins with a comment that's on the surface sounds a little judgmental, but underneath it's coming from a confusion and misunderstanding. And I am here to probably help clear that up just a little bit. See, somebody sees a new driver, maybe still in school or just starting out, right? And they're already labeled a SAP driver. And the first response to everybody in the comments is, how did you mess up before you even started? Well, here's the part that a lot of us drivers and a lot of you guys on the outside don't understand, is that the process of being the SAP driver, it isn't as cut and dry as you think. So to answer your question, right, when you're starting out the journey of trying to get your CDL, whether you're in a traditional truck driving school or a CDL trucking company supported school, you have to take a DOT drug test, regardless if it's going into their school or if you're going into a traditional school. It is federal law across the board. Now, here's where it gets a little bit deeper, drivers. If you're going through a trucking company sponsored school, that means that they are paying for your training, they're paying for your housing, and it's a small step, right? But if you fail the drug test while going through that process with them, it's game over. You won't just be sent home, driver, but you'll be dropped from the school, the company, the whole process of getting hired, the whole process of onboarding, everything gone. See, these trucking companies have no obligations to keep you on because they haven't officially even hired you yet. But now,
Hold on.
Enjoying what you're hearing? Ready for unfiltered trucking talk that tells it like it is? The Trucking Commentary Podcast with Lockout Men delivers authentic reactions and engaging conversations about the latest trucking content from across YouTube and TikTok. Help us reach more drivers like you. Hit that like button and leave a comment to boost our visibility in YouTube's algorithm. Your support helps us deliver more of the no-nonsense trucking commentary you've come to like from Lockout Men.
because of you failing the drug test, your name is unfortunately now filed and flagged into the SAP program. Now you are a SAP driver. But see, drivers, on the flip side of that though, if you're going to an independent CDL truck driving school that's not tied to any specific company, it's a little bit different, right? See, if you failed the drug test, yes, you still going to get reported. Yes, it is still going to be up under your clearinghouse. Yes, you will end up in the SAP program. But the part that doesn't change with traditional truck driving schools is you can still continue to get your CDL through that school. See, the school might still allow you to finish learning, practicing, driving, and taking the CDL test to get your license. You have your license, driver, once you go through the program and you complete it and you pass it. but you won't unfortunately get hired until you complete the whole SAP program, meaning that you got to go through all 6 steps, and hopefully one of those companies will be able to help you out in getting the step either 5 or 6 of the return to duty process. So yeah, drivers, that's how someone can still have their CDL or get their CDL and be in the SAP program at the same time.
So drivers, here's a twist to all of that, right? See, not all companies will even let you in the door if you got a failed drug test. If you're in the FMCSA's clearinghouse, you're a SAP driver, you made your options a little bit more daunting than most drivers that's not in the program. See, now you got to complete the evaluation with a certified SAP assistance professional. Now you got to finish the recommendations of the treatments and or steps. You also got to pass your return to duty drug testing, which is kind of difficult, but it's easier now than what it was in the beginning, because you will have to actually find a company that will let you in the door so you can do that process. But now there are consortiums now that you can actually pay for, and they can help you go through the steps needed in order to get your return to duty status. And you got to now continue and actively keep up with the testing and everything else afterwards, maybe for a couple of years or so. I'm not sure. But if you're done with all of that, then and only then you might can find a company that is SAP friendly. And when I by SAP friendly, actually bring you in, give you the chance, hire you on, and let you drive. Not none of these companies that say, oh yeah, we're SAP friendly, but you got to wait a couple of years before we can actually let you come in and drive. You don't want that. That you don't want. You want a company that will actually bring you in with your situation and give you the opportunity to drive for maybe a couple of years, maybe a year. I don't know how long it's going to take, but at least get you in the door to start making some money. But expect this though, okay? And this is where it gets a little problematic, all right? Here it is. These companies that you're going to jump on with, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be black op companies. And what are black op companies? Those are the companies that take advantage of the disadvantaged. They take advantage of the desperate. They take advantage of people in your situation. All right? Just know that. Also know that companies that will bring you on, just know they got a much more stricter policy than a regular person that's not in the program. They're going to monitor you close, okay? And sometimes the pay is going to be a lot less lower than starting out. Don't quote me on that part though. I only talked with a few companies that will start you out at prime rates, but just know that companies that bring you on, they're going to give you anywhere between 35, 40, 45 cents a mile, all right? I know that's low pay, especially in 2025, because it's crazy to see drivers still making 2015, 2000s money in 2025 as a truck driver. It's crazy work. So again, drivers, I think if you making the decision of going through a truck driving school and you fail the drug test, you will still have that opportunity. All right, you'll still be able to get your CDL. But if you fail the drug test and you're going through a CDL sponsored school by a trucking company, just know right out the gate, ain't no coming back from that. But your choices, when you do choose which route to go to get your CDL though, if you do have the cash and going independent and having freedom of choice, that will probably be your best way to go for a CDL school. But Of course, a lot of you drivers are financially strapped, I am sorry to say, and some of you drivers do need some second chance help. I understand that. Hopefully you can find a company that is willing to work with you in your situation and might give you a shot.
So, drivers, this isn't about judging folks, right? It's about understanding how easy it is to make a simple mistake even before you even get into the industry, man. See, some people smoke one joint at a family outing or a family cookout, not even realizing that they have to take the test, either a random or a onboarding test, the very next day. Others don't even take SAP process seriously enough until they're at home sitting wondering why no company's even bothering with it. But here is the truth though, and I know the truth hurts a little bit, but I'm about to give it to you anyway. The moment you take that drug test and you fail and you're officially in the system, everything you do from that point on matters. And if you fail, your path is still possible, driver, but it's going to take a little bit longer. It's going to be a little bit harder, and it's going to be a whole lot more expensive. Until next time, drivers.
What do you think? Going through a trucking school on your own after a failed drug test and entering the SAP program? Have you been through it yourself? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you've got a story about getting your CDL after a failed drug test or making it through the SAP program, I'd love to hear from you. Email your story to lockoutmenpodcastguest@gmail.com.
You might just be featured on the show. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's trying to bounce back into trucking.